Yes. The next one is about the Norman conquest. It's very clear when we have discussed about the Celtic, Atlantic, and Scandinavian, or the Viking or the Norse influence, the Danish influence. We move on to yet another foreign language influence, that is the influence of French. So during this Norman conquest, during and after the Norman conquest, there was a random shift to use French as the language of the superior class, to use French for the official purposes. Uh, so, of course, it gives a clear idea that compared to in Old English period, though it was Celtic, Latin, and Scandinavian influence, when the Old English, after the Old English, when you move on to the Middle English period with the start of Norman conquest, with the coming of William the Normandy, you have the French influence. The start of the Middle Ages starts with the influence of French, not just in the literary circle, it is in the everyday communication for the upper classes as well as for the administrative purposes. So it's what makes a remarkable mark during the Norman conquest, the Middle Ages in England or in Britain. The Norman Conquest. The Norman Conquest in 1066 had a far-reaching effects on English language and literature. So, for the Middle Ages, this Norman Conquest for the year 1066 had a far-reaching effect on English language and literature. With the conquest of England by William of Normandy, Normandy is a region of the northern France. So, now with the conquest of England by William of Normandy, the course of English language changed considerably. So, with the conquest of William of Normandy for the year 1066, there was the course of English language changed considerably. The English and the French had always maintained a close relationship. So, from that time, the English and the French had always maintained a close relationship. Now, we have to see in what all areas they have maintained a close relationship. So, when William of Normandy defeated King Harold of Britain in AD 1066 and became King of England, so by 1066, William of Normandy defeated Harold of Britain and William of Normandy became the King of England. The earlier tradition continued unbroken with one exception. So, earlier tradition, everything, because they were having a good rapport within each other's, within the English and the French, like Englishmen and the Frenchmen. And so, though they continued many of the uh, like they continued some earlier traditions, some were unbroken, but still there were changes in some sectors actually. And William replaced, and in what all areas the changes came. William replaced the noblemen, church dignitaries, monks, priests, and soldiers with their French counterparts. So the first change came with the replacing of the noblemen, the church dignitaries, the monks, the priests, and the Norman, and the soldiers with the French counterparts. So instead of the English people as the noblemen, as the church dignitaries, as the monks, priests, and soldiers, the French counterparts came there with the upcoming of William of Normandy after the Norman conquest in 1066, where Harold of Britain was thrown away and William came to power of the English throne. William replaced noblemen, church dignitaries, monks, priests, and soldiers with their French counterparts. For 200 years and after the Norman conquest, the French remained the language of communication among the upper classes in England. Now, what you have to remember is this: even after 200 years, sorry, even after 200 years after the Norman conquest, the French was the language among the upper classes, was the language for communication among the upper classes in England. Moreover, those who had high aspirations learned French. So, those who had high aspirations for learning of gathering of knowledge, they learned French. At the same time, the lower classes continued to speak and write English. So, the meantime, the lower classes they continued to speak and write English. Hence, the distinction between those who spoke English and those who spoke French was mainly social, and English was reduced to the status of language of the inferior sections of the society. So, now by this time, French attained popularity, and popularity not just among the common people but among the superior class of people, and the English language was reduced to the status of the language of the inferior sections of society. So, English language was reduced to the status of language of the inferior sections of society. Moreover, those who had high aspirations learned French, and at the same time, the lower classes continued to speak and write English. Hence, the distinction between those who spoke English and those who spoke French was mainly social, and English was reduced to the status of language of the inferior sections of society. So, at the same time, uh, there was distinction between people who spoke French and those who spoke English, and this was mainly social. A difference, social class difference was there, and English was reduced to the status of the language of the inferior sections of the society. So the superior people, they talk French, they use French in their local purposes, for the administrative purposes and all such things, but the language of the English language became the language of the inferior classes of society. The line of kings who came after William also favored the French language. So even after William also they favored the French language. It was during the reign of King Henry III. Now again the English king is coming back to rule. The line of kings who came after William also favored the French language. It was during the reign of King Henry III that reaction set in. So now again, even after William of Normandy, the kings that came after him also 200 years right after that, they also favored this French language. But when Henry III came, that reaction set in. So when Henry had come to power, the reaction of the common English people set in. Uh, Henry's French connections prompted him to welcome Frenchmen in large numbers. So, for his personal reasons, when he was married to Eleanor of Provence, his marriage to Eleanor of Provence in France, so this made him welcome huge numbers of French people to English land, and this has set a reaction against Henry III. It was during the reign of Henry III that reaction set in. Henry's French connections prompted him to welcome French men in large numbers. Henry dismissed all the English officers from his court and appointed men from France in their places. And what happened was, during his time when he got married to Eleanor of Provence, he set off all the Englishmen from the court. Henry dismissed all the English officers from his court and appointed men from France in their place. His marriage to Eleanor of Provence also helped in augmenting the stream of foreigners into England. And again, his marriage to Eleanor of Provence also helped him in augmenting the stream of foreigners into England. Many people, they were replaced, not just the clergymen, not just the people of the noblemen, of monks, priests, and soldiers, but all the people in the court were even replaced. His recklessness in bestowing favors upon known natives of England aroused the national sentiments of Englishmen. Now, his recklessness, he was not doing in the U-turns. So, this kind of attitude broke national sentiments of the Englishmen. And England for the English became their motto. And now, for the Englishmen had the motto, England for the English became the motto. The barons now, again, the time of the baron. The first Baron was by 1212 to 1217. Now in this scenario you have the second Baron War 1258 and 65, where the war was between the barons and the direct with the royal court, and initially it was a baron's victory, later on it was a royal victory. The Barren War that took place in the wake of the formulation of the provisions of Oxford was the outcome of this opposition. Now, Barren War took place, and when the barons won the race, and later on the royals won the war. And Edward the First is the son of Henry the Third. So when Edward the First ascended the throne and peace was restored, when Englishmen were for the most part appointed as government officials. So where Henry's son Edward understood the situation very clear that England was for the English. He understood the situations, and he had made solutions in a way that Edward I ascended the throne and a peace was restored when Englishmen were for the most part appointed as government officials. Now, during the time of William, Edward I, again after William, then you have Henry, and again you have Edward I coming, and by that time he ascended the throne and peace was restored. By that time when he ascended the throne, all the wars had come to a stop when Englishmen were for the most part appointed as government officials, and now the Englishmen happened to be appointed as government officials. Knowledge of English came to be regarded as a distinct mark of an Englishman, and now they were replacing French, and the knowledge of English came to be regarded as a distinct mark of Englishman. So during the Norman Conquest, Middle English period, though the French influence came up, again English was back to hail, to use, to flourish. The language, the knowledge of the English, the knowledge of English came to be regarded as the distinct mark of Englishmen. So this is a remarkable changes that happened during the Norman Conquest.